Let's have a look at how I went from my first ever iPad drawing to now making a full-time career with my comics. Believe it or not, this was my first ever drawing that I did with an iPad. Not to toot my own horn, but this is actually pretty good. This was in 2019 and like when I started uni. Next I started drawing these like animal scenes. There's another one, I ended up doing like a set of these. So this was another one in the set and another one. And I drew my mum's place of work. Again, this is pretty good. As weird as these are, I love these drawings because these were like my first ever visual narratives. I love looking back and thinking, oh my god, this is like where it all started. Totally different style, but still like just really silly and funny. Then I was drawing this sort of thing. I started drawing pictures of my hometown. There's another one that I did at that time and another one. And the local hotel said they were going to commission me. So I started drawing this before they even commissioned me and I spent hours on it and then they never actually commissioned me. So lesson learned. Got too excited about the first commission. I started doing these line drawings. Here's another one. I actually ended up getting some line drawings tattooed. This is my first ever tattoo. This is lovely. I forgot this existed until I went back through my iPad today. This is like, I was doing a storybook at uni. I might release it on here because I think it's really funny. But I remember when I was reading it to my lecturer, they were like, what are you doing? Then at uni, we were doing this thing about a bug. I think it was metamorphosis. So I was drawing these like visual narratives. I think this is the first thing where I ever did panels. I really enjoyed just drawing them in like little mundane scenarios. I thought it was so cute. You can really see like my style starting to appear now. This would have been like late 2019, early 2020. And I started drawing my character like in these little things, which again, is pretty fun. And at that point, I actually made these little pins as well to sell at an art fair with my character. I also used them in an animation module as well. So he was my first like walk cycle. These are pretty cool. This is when I collaborated with a couple of friends on a uni module. Here's another one of that. There's 3 different artists that drew this, but I love this photo. Now this is where lockdown hit, where everything just blew up for me. I started watching webcams of like inside zoos to draw the animals while I was watching the live stream. This was when I was watching a penguin live stream. This was my like first visual narrative in my sort of humour. And a 1, 2, he's caught the fish. 3, he's going home. 4. Love it. I also started drawing like these really crazy buildings and I love doing these. They took forever. Well, to be honest, actually, I think they took like 1 day, but I spent hours and hours and hours and hours working on it because I had nothing better to do in lockdown. There's another one and another one. Also, this is when I started posting on TikToks all these buildings in this way. Or my very first videos are of me drawing these. I also drew this at some point as well, which I love it. I should do more things like this. This would make a nice colouring page actually, wouldn't it? And I started drawing my character as like well-known monuments. I was making loads of work about COVID as well. This, I actually think was the first thing I ever posted on Instagram that's in my current style now. There's another COVID type one. This one I've never posted. But this is the sort of thing that I was drawing at that time. Also posting on Reddit, and I think this one I posted on Reddit and it was the first one that sort of was getting thousands of upvotes on Reddit, and then I was getting thousands of likes on Instagram. And then I posted this about the Black Lives Matter movement, which went absolutely crazy. You might recognise it. It literally was everywhere. So with no experience whatsoever, I made them into t-shirts, prints, everything like that, and sold them and donated 100% of the profit to Black Lives Matter charity. So that was like, that threw me into this sort of thing. But I was making loads of like current affairs ones, so I was doing loads about politics. You know, there was whole things about masks and vaccines and things like that. I was making like loads of commentary on. Yeah, I was just churning out comics at this point because it was lockdown and I was literally I just had ideas going and going and going. I'd wake up in the morning and I'd get up so early because I just had so many ideas. Here's another one of my super early comics. Here's another one. Really like this one actually, still one of my favourites. Some honourable mentions of my favourite recent comics. This one is iconic. Also love this one. I released a book last year, which is what the inside of the book looks like, so it's all just my comic strips. There's 145 comic strips in this. I also released a colouring book last year, which has been great, and I'll release another one this year. Yeah, so now I spend my life making these comics and sharing them, and I'm the luckiest person in the world.